Okay, looks like live, at least on Zoom. Now let's see. Can we pull everybody up over here? Okay. Got it there. Well, good morning. At least I can still say that. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to my channel, Sassy Seer Sheila. Today is Friday, January the 19th, 2024. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's where it's at. Man, I'm telling you, ever since my tablet has stopped working, it's really discombobulating as to how to move forward with my phone. So, anyway, boy, that's a heck of a delay, too. All right, well, so nothing I said on Monday panned out. Or no, was it Saturday, Sunday? It might even have been Sunday the last time I was here. Um, uh, as I'm sure that some of you will attest, the energy has been, it feels like off the hook as of late. I don't know, man. I don't think there's been a lot that's come from the sun, but there's been so much going on. For me personally, energetically, that it's not lost on me what we're all moving through. Oh, okay. We have card number 38, the courage of your love, which is numerologically, that's an 11. Isn't that right? Yeah, that's an 11. And so that's a master number. Wow. Can't, that's such a multidimensional card. And okay, wow. There's a lot in this. Okay, right now there's so much multidimensionality in my field. The things that have been being presented to me to take a look at, things that are just coming up in my field. I was speaking to a friend yesterday, and I don't know, it's almost as though it feels to me like even though the community at large, right? Humanity at large. When you say multidimensionality, you know, but it's not right here in the forefront of the consciousness. But if one begins to really feel into it, one may be able to sense that multidimensionality on many levels. Um, at least I certainly do. Now, the Rumi deck wanted to come out, of course, as it is my favorite, but also the fairies wanted to come out this morning as well. They actually wanted to go with me to our wise women circle recently, but we didn't ever get to it. Two cards came flying out just now as I was shuffling. The undressing of a salad, which is card number 31, numerologically, that's a 4, right? 4 is all about foundation. It's all about, and actually, and card number 53, death. Okay, usually folks get all flummoxed when the death card appears, but I recognize death as a state of transition, really. Um, I think even what's a lot of philosophers, there are many deaths, right? Death of an idea, death of a dream, death of It's not just death of us. And quite frankly, we've been taught to fear death in some really weird ways. And actually, death wants to come first. I couldn't understand why I grabbed and started moving toward that first, but it actually wants to come out first, even though it was the last card that came out. So, very interesting there. And death is one of in this hierarchy of cards, right? The Fairy Oracle, the Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud and Jessica Macbeth. Death is considered a fairy challenger, and it brings us face to face with our fears, our denials, our inner traumas and insecurities, which, if those that have been following me and this channel for a while will know, or well, me for a while, because this is the third channel, but um, will know that that's what I'm really heavily into, facing the portions of me that I have run from all my life in one way or another, right? And so, card number 53, which, numerologically is an 8. And for me, an 8 is the upward facing infinity symbol, which speaks to not just um, manifestation, but actually materialization as well. And the fact that it's attached to this particular death card, the key words for this card are natural, timely endings, release, liberation. Scary, huh? Before you panic, let's remember that if it were not for death and her hard work, we would all be up to our ears in alligators, mayflies, each other, and just about everything else. Without her to clear the world, there would be no room for growth or new life. This applies to all the realms: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and other. The death card in all oracles, fairy, tarot, and other, does not usually signify actual physical death. In fact, it is rarely meaning. Rather, it indicates a significant change. One that, well, that's kind of interesting too, because I was guided just recently to reinstate a dating profile. So we'll see how that goes, right? Y'all know who've been following me for a while. This is my third time that I've been asked to do this. So we'll see what happens. In fact, although I already read that, rather, it indicates a significant change, one that involves letting go of the old life in order to move forward into the new. What we really fear about death is the unknown of what is next. We may be experiencing great pain as a result of holding on to aspects of life that we have outgrown. But humans tend to hold on anyway because we don't know what is next. We want guarantees, and instead we get open doors uh, into unknown, darkened spaces. Yet, when we go through these doors, closing them behind us, we discover a whole new world, one in which we can grow and develop into more of what we have the potential of being. So, here we see death, her face hidden without form, holding a dark crystal ball. She herself cannot see the future. Something has reached a natural ending, and there is substantial and irrevocable change in the works. Well, I know that to be true for myself on many levels. I'm not quite sure what's next at all, And I'm beginning to get a handle on the fact that I'll be okay with that, right? Again, just like anybody, we all tend to tense up a little bit when we don't know what's happening next, right? So this change may be inner or outer, most likely both. It is timely and natural, but there may be much resistance to it. Leaves fall every autumn. In the spring, the trees are green again and with new leaves. Make room for the new in your life. Let the old go lovingly, gently, and willingly. Wow. Okay. Well, that's kind of interesting, like I said, because there's a lot involved in what I've been doing. And for those of you that have been following me for a while, especially when it comes to this channel, I'm not quite sure what's next. I'm not quite sure what I'm meant to perceive about how each time I pop my head up to share what I think the system or whatever that is, bunks it down. So we'll see, huh? Oh, wait a minute, I put that up. No, that's because the courage of your love wants to go next. Um, yeah, we're moving all around here. So card number 38, numerologically, like I said, is an 11, a master number. And again, those of you that have been following me a while know that the Rumi Oracle, which is what this is, by Alana Fairchild and Rasuli, is my absolute favorite deck. So, the courage of your love. Love is without reason. Nationality is like a cane. Judgment needs a cane because it is blind. When love arrives, thought dies in its shadow. Love is the sunrise, while thought is only a flashing light. Rumi. I do not bleat at you like a sheep, for to startle you from your slumber. I need to roar like a lion. You must awake, my beloved. There is no time to waste, for the wolves are circling, hungry for sacred flesh. So I shall roar mightily. And although at first you recoil in fear, soon enough you will see the wolves. Wow, boy, I tell you what, yeah, there's a lot of wolves at the moment. I think you guys have that are thinking and feeling along the same lines as I am can tell that that's the true statement, right? You become aware and grateful to have been thus awoken. Ah, yes. You remember that you have a precious human life to protect. You fear me no more. You thank me. Boy, the sun is doing some weird stuff here today. Um, you jump on my back as if you were a warrior astride a wild mount. You roar then along with me, awakening the others as we cause the ground to rumble, disturbing those even in their deepest slumber. You, like me, are a fierce lion, not a lamb to be led to so many slaughters. The variety and opportunity for which is available in terrible abundance in our world. There is a Sufi story about a mother with her breast leaking milk. She loses her child, and once she finds him again, instantly lets him suckle for as long as he needs. A Sufi master nearby says to his students, "Do you think she would throw her baby into the fire?" And the students all say, "No, of course not." And the master replies, Allah loves his children more than she, with enough tenderness to throw them into the fire. So it is with love. At first, as a young heart, you want only comfort for your beloved. You cannot bear the thought of pain within them, even for a moment. And this happens a lot with children these days, actually, if you ask me. Your own suffering is easier than bearing the suffering of your beloved. That young heart grows wise through experience. It becomes an elder, an ancient heart, tempered by grace and rendered strong with compassion. This is the great heart that can hold the suffering of the world within it and yet still find space for peace, for sweetness, for tenderness, and for rapture. This is the heart that shines with courageous love. It is willing to feel and bear all suffering without judgment, whilst gently holding it in the truth of what that suffering really is, the drying out of the mind addicted to suffering. This drying out is necessary so that love can ignite itself and transform dead wood into living fire. Oh, now I see why the death card had to come first. Very interesting. So I'm going to read that again. This drying out is necessary so that love can ignite itself and transform dead wood into living fire. The drying out is a challenging and enduring process. The path of freeing the heart from the effects of a fearful mind is an initiation into great power. So many lapses will happen before the heart grows strong enough to overpower old patterns and surrender without condition or equivocation. When it is ready to surrender in such a way, the heart is free and allowed to simply be. Even the mind, then, finally freed from shackles and joyfully submitting to love, declares, "Let love be. In whatever way it shall be, I can bear it. I shall take refuge in it. I shall not turn away from it. I am that love." You are an ancient one with a heart older than the mountains. You are being asked to free yourself from the too small loves of the youthful heart and come to understand and accept the wisdom of your mature heart. Your mature heart is not cursed with hardness or detachment, but with compassion and tenacious devotion to the cause that is most real and matters most, the quest for life of the human soul. Your ancient heart loves the soul and will roar like the lion of love at the wolves that would casually devour it. So trust in the courage of your heart. You are not cruel. You are not hard. You are not careless. You are passion personified. You are the lion of love. So allow yourself to be the lion, not the lamb. You are, I'm sorry, just that moment I was reminded of what has changed recently. You are, no, stand true in your own heart. Cause trouble, make noise, be proud, and be mighty. Then rest. After all, that savage divinity, rest and restore. For day after day you shall claim your holy lands and refuse to give them up to less noble creatures. Though you survey their manipulations and attempts to claim power with compassion, You do not underestimate them or relax your vigilance. You shall not allow for you shall not allow for even a moment that falsehood be accepted as truth in your heart. This oracle comes with particular guidance for you. You are not to give in to less than you are. Oh, wow. That's timely for me too. Or to the shaming stories of others of our culture that would cast your regal lion nature into the falsehood of beliefs that you have no choice or power. You are not to give in to the idea that you are a victim and cannot free yourself from your suffering, or that you are less than any other. These are lies. These are petty deceptions so unworthy of you. Do not believe them. Roar at them until the weak glue holding them together melts under the fire of your holy breath, and they lie dismembered and powerless at your feet. Then intend that those bits and pieces in decay are lovingly returned to the Earth Mother, through whom they can be used to fertilize new life. This oracle comes with another message for you. You have a challenge before you, or that you are now moving through, but you have what is necessary to succeed and overcome it. No matter how long it has endured, or how big you have built that challenge up to be in your mind, no matter how unsolvable the issue appears to be, there is and shall be a victory beyond it, and it is imminent. This oracle has come to you to let you know you are empowered to succeed. You have what is required within to do it. And that the time for your victory is drawing near. Wow. So do not give up. Instead, well, it says to do the sacred honoring ritual as needed, but you guys who have followed me for a while know that I think if you feel called to do something like that, make your own. Um, you are empowered in your own right to make your own. But if you feel called to know what this says, let me know, and I'm happy to send you a picture of it. Just remember to tell me that it's card number 38, and I will send you a picture of the sacred honoring ritual that is at the end of every one of these cards. And it says, and when you feel so inclined, open your mouth and roar love from the very depths of your being. Create a sound of truth for yourself. In that sound, you will hear the mightiest one of all roaring along with you, saying, yes, love, I am with you. And together we claim divine victory. So we roar. Oh, how we roar. Oh, I love that. And like I said, this to me is such a multidimensional card, right? It really, for me, depicts how it is that I have felt, because I have felt myself in more than one realm at a time. Again, those of you who have followed me for a while will know that I've said this entire past year, almost all of 2023, and actually into 2024, sometimes still, I feel as though I am here and not here all at the same time, here and somewhere else, all at the same moment. And this card really does sort of depict that for me. Okay, and the last card we had for today was the undressing of a salad. And I love this one because it really speaks to in many ways what we're doing on the earth at this time, I feel like. Okay. So the key words for this card are balance, avoiding extremes, achieving the impossible, and being impossible. Brian called this painting the dressing of a salad. But in an earlier stage of the Good Fairies, Bad Fairies manuscript, it was called the undressing of a salad. I've combined the names because they show us important aspects of the card. The dressing of a salad requires a good balance. Disparate elements must be blended into a tasty whole. The undressing of a salad requires truly remarkable adroitness. At first, one might think it impossible, but Adroito, whom we see busily balancing magical balls, is the fairy of doing impossible things. He is also the fairy of being impossible and the fairy of avoiding extremes. Sound impossible? Well, of course it is. Both Adroito and Sally, crouched above him, are intently focused on balancing things. And the large gnome in the center finds this very amusing. He looks in two directions at once, seeing the impossibility of keeping things that are in constant motion in balance at all times, like the juggling acts of life. Of course, we fall out of balance. Of course, we occasionally drop the ball. Sometimes we drop the ball, or a bird flies by and snatches it from us, and we just have to invent another one. Wow. I would say that overall, this reading is all about a monumental, huge change that's, I mean, we all kind of have felt that, in many ways, but in just that moment, I feel as though, because it says sometimes this seems as impossible as undressing a salad. Hmm. I feel as though there's more to come in on that too. There are times when we have to turn bad luck into good. And that isn't always easy, especially if someone else seems determined to turn good luck into bad. Wow, there's a lot of that going on out there too, isn't there? Everything is integrating and disintegrating at the same time. Boy, that makes me think about my here and not here all at once, right? Confusion is rife, but we still try to create order and put things into balance. The whole universe is hurtling through time at an astonishing rate, and it is very difficult to keep balance on a rapidly moving object, especially as it appears to lurch unpredictably from time to time. Sooner or later, a Droito or Sally or both will drop their balls. The sulky looking fellow at the bottom on the left is clearly waiting to snatch one or two so he can play too, or maybe just so that Adroito and Sally cannot. My money is on Adroito, though. He is smart enough to realize that old balls wear out and new ones must be brought into play. He is ready to deal with this. The balance changes constantly, but it is still balance. Things are in motion and the outcome is impossible to predict. A cool head is required to deal with this, as is a readiness to jump in whatever direction seems appropriate. Exercise cool judgment while staying ready for the unpredictable. Sudden changes of fortune may appear good or bad, but they are in flux and can be rechanneled if necessary. Develop poise, stay calm. You can come out a winner here, but it is likely to take concentrated effort. Use power with delicacy and discretion. Wow. Okay. So this is quite the reading today, at least for me, from my perspective. And I'm being called to pull something from the surrender deck as well. Uh, I personally have always taken issue with the word surrender, as again, those of you that have followed me for a while will know that I do see it in a wholly different way now than I ever did before, especially when I first started on this. Oh my goodness. Surrender the idea that you can fix someone. Uh, it's time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable to his or her own healing. Oh my gosh. This has been in my field for quite some time now, and it actually is part of my problem with everybody who pretty much calls themselves a light worker, because everybody has this idea that we're here to help humanity, to save humanity, to inform humanity. No, no, we're not. Listen, I this one was a huge wake up call for me, and it started with my own health. All right. Wasn't until I decided to take my health into my own hands and become accountable to my own self for my own healing, right? But even then, I didn't see it because I was so trying to tell everybody around me. And quite frankly, a lot of people would send people to me because they knew I'd pulled myself from death's door. So here's this person over here dying, and they're now, panicked. But they don't want to pull themselves out. They want somebody to heal them. And I'm sorry, but that's not how that works. It doesn't work that way. What will work for one will not work for another, and especially if they aren't willing to do the work for themselves. And I believe me, that was a hard lesson, and still sometimes is a hard lesson for me to get through my big fat head. It's all about choices and what each individual chooses to see about themselves and do something about. And that actually really, really, really applies to the truther community as well, not just the light workers. I used to say that the truther community and the light worker community needed to come together, right? Actually, uh, it's more about the internal, right? There's so much lip service given to the we are all one. I say, yes, we are all one, but we are also singular. The only thing that separates us is the entirety of our experiences in this physical vessel. That's the only thing. And not everybody gets that or is ready to get that. And so those of us that are out there still trying to wake people up to see something or know something, it's everybody gets to choose how they're, and that's always been that way. Now, I just finally got that message. And again, sometimes I forget that and I try to, press it on somebody else and their eyes start glazing over and that sort of thing. So, this is a huge message to me and a lot of other folks as well. you can only do for you. Now, don't think for a second that doing for yourself, changing yourself doesn't affect the whole, because it does. Because we are all one and yet singular. The more I focus on me, the more I carry solution in my field that makes it available for everyone else. That's something that I have learned from my housemate Lisa Flamino Rush in a huge way. And I can't thank her enough for being about her own healing and carrying it around in her field. Well, that's it for this one, you guys. I hope this was helpful to the, because believe you me, if you were drawn here for this, because I don't put it out there. I don't let folks know when I'm going live unless you are subscribed and hit the notification bell. Sometimes they let you know and sometimes they don't. But I find it very interesting in the method and the way that these cards wanted to show themselves today. With death being first. I mean, this was the first one I pulled. This one was the last one, except for the surrender. So I am, here I go. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to do this, and I hope that things work out so that I can. Um, I am planning a intuitive hangout session for tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time, live. And how that works is that, if you want a card, all you do is say, I want a card, and then I put your name on the list and I just start reading. So I'm hoping to do that. No promises though, because you guys know the last several times I tried to say that, something's come up. So um, I'm going to try. So we'll see if that works or not. I hope you all will have a lovely rest of your day. I hope you will also move towards that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself to you. There really is more than one way to see a thing, to consider a thing, and move forward. Until we meet again, my friends.